Hi, welcome to Behind the Bling. Today we are going to chat with Ramit Kapur, who is the Managing Director of GSI Labs, India and Middle East. Hi Ramit. How are
Hi,
you doing?
Lonika. Thank you for having me over.
Oh, it's a pleasure having you, Ramit. Yeah.
We're going to have a nice chat.
Basically, this is about the jewelry industry, and I think labs are a very important part of the industry.
Agree.
And currently, we have a lot of labs in India, but I think GSI is one of the leading brands.
True.
That is an international brand and has been in India for how many years now?
It's over 20 years now.
Over 20 years now. So, as the managing director of the lab, what do you think is the future of the diamond certification industry in India?
Well, certification is going to grow with time. There are different categories of jewelry, and we're looking at gemstones, we're looking at polki. There's so much happening, and so much we're exploring. So it becomes very integral that whatever is going out to the consumer carries a report, a certificate, which gives them the confidence to buy, and that whatever they're buying, they're sure of, though they're going to their jeweler who they trust. But this comes as an added, advantage to them. Yeah, exactly, of trust that they've got. It's like a third party
Verification.
Verifying this jewelry. So yeah, overall, this helps stabilize the industry. It helps give more confidence that you can go out and buy diamonds more confidently, more gemstones more confidently. Yeah.
Right. So, do you guys face a challenge? Do you directly educate the end consumer, or your education stops at the retailer level? Like, how does it work?
So to be honest, the role that labs really play is more of catering to B2B. That is more of the manufacturers as well as the retailers. What we do is we try to empower the retailers in terms of their sales team by doing regular workshops, and which we're doing across the country with big names, small names, everybody. So what we're doing is we're educating them about their product. Now, when we talk about their product, it has diamonds, it has various gemstones. Now, the sales team until now, when they're selling jewelry with gemstones, they term it as, the jewelry has, isme itna precious, semi-precious stones, precious stones.
Right.
So, well, they're actually using, gemstones like tourmaline, tanzanites, garnets, like really opals, these kind of gemstones. And they're not even communicating it to the customer. So the customer just it tags as he's buying semi-precious gemstones in the jewelry. Well, if they can use the right terminology, they can get more value out of the product, more margins out by actually saying these are Tanzanites, they come from Tanzania, and it actually brings about a whole conversation also. So what we do is we're not directly going out to the consumers, but we're to the retailers, we're empowering them, and they educate the customers in the way they fashion, the way they would like to do that. Yeah.
So when you said Polki, you guys certify Polki as well, right? Not many labs do that.
Exactly.
I think they would just pretty much give them a certification that this is natural or maybe unnatural Polki.
Right.
But when you say you certify Polki, do you also give like a color clarity certificate for the Polki?
Not really. Why? Because these are not completely fashion. They're uncuts, they're flat gemstones. However, in Polki, you get different qualities. When I say is some would be fracture filled, the others are not filled Polkis, where they're natural cracks, but they're not hidden or filled. So we disclose that on the certificate. So with that, you come to know really the value of the Polki, that those are filled probably are a little less price than the ones that are in the market that they term it as syndicate Polki.
Syndicate, right.
So yes, but the bigger challenge is even today is to identify that these are natural diamond Polkis, because
the lab-grown Polki?
Yeah, there's so much of lab-grown Polki which has come into the market, and it looks exactly the same. They come with fractures, they come with cracks, and you can't tell the difference. And seasoned gemologists can't, forget retailers.
But the CVD machine can?
Exactly. So well, when I say that also, what we were doing in the past, about 3 to 5 years, the equipment that we were using, screening equipment, that's obsolete. We can't even use that to screen the polkies today. So obviously there has to be a lot of research happening where we have to make sure, we have more recent equipment to do this.
That is exactly my next question to you was that what are some unique grading practices, maybe and innovations that the GSI lab has introduced in the whole world of certification?
So what we really do is, we feel that, we have to safeguard this industry. Why? Because, there's too much confusion in the consumer's mind today. They hear so much from outside, or maybe following reels and, some jewelers saying this. So there's no one common language spoken about our industry. So whether we should buy diamonds, natural diamonds, or they're going to be taken over by lab-grown diamonds. What's the future? Should we buy? Should we not buy? So much confusion. So we want, like a clear thought process to be there. So for that, what we do is, as a lab, we are very highly invested in research. We feel that a lab's backbone, or you can say its core, is really its research. You just can't pick up screening equipment from off the market, get some gemologist and say, okay, I'm a lab now and let's do this. You really need to know what you're doing. And while you're, set your lab up, you got to think like 5 times ahead. Because the lab-grown industry is already thinking 5 times ahead, how to mimic natural diamonds so closely to beat these machines. So what happens at our research center is we have to think what they're thinking, or probably ahead of that. So we have to keep exposing more stones, millions of stones on the equipment, and try to beat the equipment to see where we can really miss something. And I think it's like a cat and mouse that is going on, but we feel that today we're much ahead of the game.
Okay. And so basically you have your own research center even in Mumbai, or it's based in your headquarters, or like are there scientists who work in your office here as well? Because when I had come to your office, I remember seeing a whole setup with people who were actual scientists, and they were
actually
going and finding out different varieties of stones and different varieties of gemstones, and you guys really gave them traceability on the certificate which you had shown me, I remember.
Right.
So this lab is like, you guys have this set up everywhere? Like how many centers do you have in India?
So India, we're at 7 locations now, and primarily we are at mostly the manufacturing centers of the country, where at the source, so where jewelry is made and then distributed to cities across the country. But so it makes sense to be at the source, where the jewelry is made, it gets certified, and then it's shipped across to the cities.
So where all are your labs in India currently?
We have 3 labs in Mumbai, we are in Surat, we are in Jaipur. Jaipur is like a flourishing lab. Why? Because we're doing so much of gemstones there too, along with. And also, we particularly see the growth of Jaipur also as a manufacturing center. They do such complex jewelry. So in one piece of jewelry, there will be polki, there will be brilliant diamonds, there will be most gemstones and things like that. So it's like a challenge which we love, and that kind of sharing information that we get, data that we get, we spread it across to labs worldwide, because they don't really work on this kind of jewelry. Having said that, we're in Bangalore, Thrissur, and soon coming up next month in Indore also. That's where we're opening a new lab there. Going back to the question you asked is about the R&D. So yes, a lot of R&D comes from our headquarters from New York. Having said that, you did meet our experts, our scientists. They have PhDs in different subject of science, and they're working on a lot of instrumentation, may it be the spectrometers or the refractometers, or they could be the EXDRF, and throwing names around, but these guys really know what they're doing. So we have a in-house research center in Mumbai, and that's continuously working around the clock Why? Because they're not involved with the daily grading and certification process. They're right there to think what next. Okay, so
to do
that's what they're doing.
And what do you do typically when you have a large piece of jewelry? Say when you have precious, semi-precious, diamond, polki, everything in one piece. What kind of certificate should a consumer expect? Is it one, or do you give like 5 certificates for one piece of jewelry?
Yeah, so
How does that work?
yeah, good question. Initially, labs were doing that. They had a different certificate. For example, it's a necklace with all what you
Right.
mentioned. A different certificate for the uncuts, a different
Right.
for
That's
the
the norm.
brilliant
Right,
and gemstones. But we have something like the fusion report. Now, this fusion report is clearly segregates, or we evaluate and actually display on the report the quality of the brilliant diamonds, what the polki is, and even if it's the gemstones, what gemstones are used, are they treated, are they enhanced, all that. But it's very like a simple dossier, like a passport size report, which carries all this information and very clear for the customer to understand.
Okay. And right, if I'm the end consumer, what about counterfeiting of certifications? Like, how would I know that this is a genuine GSI certificate and it's not a counterfeit and it's not something that's printed in a lab or
Yeah.
printed at the jeweler's store?
Well,
I'm not trying to say jewelers
no, I
will
understand.
counterfeit it,
Well,
but
most of the labs today have the online verification in place. So basically, when you get a certificate or a report from a lab, there's a QR code on it.
right.
And you can scan the QR code. It takes you directly to the website of the laboratory, and you can actually verify the report online. So that way, for a consumer to verify this is the same report is easy. Also, we also engrave the report number on the jewelry piece, so
right.
which actually there are fakes and counterfeits.
Right.
So we have to take the onus as all the stakeholders, may it be manufacturers, retailers, that when the consumers are ready to pay the price for the jewelry, and so why not give them the right certification? Why play around?
Right. And as a lab, do you also grade and certify lab grown diamonds?
Yes, we do that. We do that. As a lab, you have to disclose what you see.
Right.
So the lab-grown diamond industry is also growing a lot. Well, it's already in the US and other countries. It's moved upwards and now more stable. Well, in India, it's at its growing phase. So yes, we do certify lab-grown diamonds too. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, what are the upcoming innovations in certification that GSI is doing that you believe is going to reshape the entire diamond industry?
So everyone uses this two-letter, AI.
AI.
So that's.
Right.
Having said that, yes, we're continuously working and researching how we can use AI in our daily process, so that we can really cut down the logistics and time. Why we doing this is really the e-commerce is picking up, where jewelry is being sold online, and we see that they give like a window of just about 7 days or 8 days to the manufacturer, and that's all what is given, or probably lesser.
3 days sometimes.
3 days sometimes. So then doesn't even give the labs 1 day, that to certify. So forget it that you have luxury of time, 2-3 days to certify. So here AI and technology is going to help a lot. Where what we are doing at our end is we are working with a lot of e-commerce e-tailers worldwide, where we grade their jewelry at the source and they can print the reports at their stores.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we've given them
Machine.
a platform that they can go on, and they can actually put in the report number and print the report. So cuts down your logistics, putting certificates, shipping it together, the weight, and things like that.
Right.
So this is how we're taking one step ahead. We're also going. We're very bullish and about the e-cert.
Right.
Yeah, so trying to go sustainable, asking jewelers to go sustainable. That don't take a physical card but take an e-certificate, a digital report. Because this now digital report is not restricted to just a report. What we've done is we use it as a tool or as a brand for the jeweler. So the moment the customer scans the QR code, on a tag, on the jewelry tag, it opens up the report on their phone and actually also tells you the brand story. So it can also carry the brand story of the jeweler, the craftsmanship, what the brand is all about. So yeah, it's a good branding tool. So certificates have become like a branding tool now.
So you also offer co-branding certificates to the
Oh yes, we do
retailers.
that. We try to give them their own branding on our report. However, the data side is completely GSI to say that it's independent. At the same time, what we're doing with technologies, we're working with a lot of international screening or equipment makers, or manufacturers. May it be big names like De Beers, who make the Syndetect machine, or the Yehuda, Mindron, Diasynth. So we have all this equipment or all these screening equipment in our laboratory. And we, in a way, we're collaborating. Why? Because we want to share a lot of data information with them. So it's a lot of information sharing happening to secure the industry. So, we work on all these equipment, make sure the results are very similar. They're not different results. And then if there is something that really stands out, we share that information to them that, your machine couldn't detect this or this. And then they upgrade it or, do those changes. So this is the way we give back also, that, we are not keeping the information to ourselves, spreading it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So as a B2B jewelry manufacturing unit, if I am, say, getting jewelry certified by GSI Lab, you do offer the facility of a mobile lab.
Right.
Right? And in the mobile lab, I have seen that your people come with a small CVD testing
Screening machine too, yeah.
right? Which most labs don't have.
Yeah.
They either force you to buy the machine,
Yeah.
which is owned by them, or it takes 3 days for the testing. So end to end, how much time does a certification, CVD testing, engraving process take? I'm purely asking from a manufacturer's perspective, because that duration of time pretty much gets deducted from your manufacturing time.
Exactly.
So if a manufacturer gets, say, 45 days to manufacture and deliver the jewelry, how much time do you think he should calculate for the lab if it's GSI?
Listen, to be honest, when we were aggressively, marketing our lab in the country, the only complaint that we did get from other, about other labs is the turnaround time, 3 to 4 working days, and
7 days.
Yeah, 7 days. So we said we'll beat this. All right. To beat this, we had to put things in place. Like I said, technology really helps us in the process. Where, like I mentioned, that while the lab is happening, the printing is already started at our lab. Yeah. So we already have the data. We just have to verify that the quality is actually what is mentioned to us, or if there are not any chips broken or lab grown or anything in natural jewelry or vice versa. So that's the verification that we need to do there. But like I said, we start the printing immediately. So 2 working days, and like I said, for
That's all?
Yeah, just 2 working days is all we get.
That's a dream.
Yeah, and we're actually doing it. I think we're doing it.
Are you successfully able to do that?
Yes, we do. Because we're scaling also. Where while this is happening, we're also continuously building a larger team to make sure that we don't fall short of our promise.
And this is irrespective of volume?
Irrespective of volume. You could have like close to 1,000 pieces at a lab or something, but yes, the team can do it, and the reports are still given out the next day.
Wow.
Yeah, so we ensure that we do that.
That is something that's going to help, I think, everybody, because that is the one thing that I think most manufacturers struggle with. Yeah. So your tie-ups do directly happen with the retailer, right?
Right.
A manufacturer doesn't have the liberty to say that I'm going to certify from GSI and give you.
Which it should not be also,
Right.
but because it looks biased, why is the manufacturer pushing a
Pushing
particular
GSI,
lab?
right.
So the retailer should choose the lab wisely. That this is the lab that I want to work with. Why? Because integrity is in place. They're accurate in their grading, turnaround time, and other services also can they provide. So while certain labs just restrict themselves to just grading diamonds or colored stones, we go one step ahead to say that we're going to evaluate your craftsmanship also. So we do a metal QC QA
Oh, you'll
also.
offer that service.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that the product that the jeweler is expecting is really what he's getting. So it's like if he's expecting a Ferrari, we make sure that we're inspecting that way, evaluating if there any porosity, any prongs, rhodium is not okay, shank is too thin, various things. So we have in place a complete QA team doing this.
Even earlier, a lot of labs have tried to give QA and QC service to the retailer, but it hasn't worked out successfully because ultimately it's a lab, and the people who come are sometimes diamond QC people. So what is that? How does that change? So is this a service that the retailer
Good question.
takes from you? Is it an additionally charged service, or is it inclusive of your certification?
So yeah, obviously it's additionally charged, but at a very low price. Yes, you're correct that the diamond graders are not capable enough to do this. So we don't. So the team that is doing this has got years of experience only doing metal QA QC. So that's the team that we have on board doing this. So that's also because we're working with such large international brands across the world that this is whatever is shipped out from India, they want to be very particular because it can't come back once it's shipped out. So they have to be very clear that the quality or the finish of the jewelry that they're expecting is in place. And we're doing this for the last 10, 12 years for the international market. So we said, why don't we do it for the domestic market too? That everyone is paying this price. The retailer is ready to pay the price for quality and finish. So he deserves it, And this actually also helps the manufacturer. Why? Because, his QC QA team is also in place. But he doesn't know the international standards or what's really happening, something new that I can learn. So we actually train their team too. So it's like a win-win situation for both manufacturer and retailer. Yeah.
But this only can a manufacturer hire this service from you?
Sure.
For a third-party QC?
Sure, anybody could.
Can the manufacturer say that I want a third-party QC verification for my in-house jewels or my stock products?
Definitely, and they're doing it too. There are selected manufacturers who are taking this service
because one would
very
think
regularly.
this is something that is useful, right?
Exactly.
And you guys also train their QC team.
Exactly. We tell them, though there's a lot of resistance, like this third party coming at telling us what to do. But I think after 1-2 sessions, they understand that, okay, now we can adapt to this. Yeah.
Okay, so are your certificates recognized globally? Like if I'm a consumer in India and I've bought a jewelry from a retailer here and I have a GSI certificate, is it recognized globally?
Yeah, exactly what you said. That because we have labs worldwide, so it's a global report. We go by that line we say is one world, one report. Right? So the certificate is valid globally. So it's very interesting what we the kind of services that we give is you can literally have your loose diamonds graded here. The manufacturer, they send it to the lab. They have because of the duties and impacts of duties, they have them mounted in China in the jewelry, and then shipped to the jeweler in New York, and the jeweler can take the certificate from GSI New York. So basically, it doesn't mean that you have to certify it here, but your jewelry is getting made in China. So how am I going to do that? Though we have a lab in Hong Kong, even then we do these kind of services. So yeah, this helps.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because not many labs offer that service.
Yeah.
Because I recently remember buying a stone from a lab, and when I wanted a duplicate certificate for the diamond, it took around 8 to 10 days because I had to send the physical stone, unmount from my ring, send it to the lab, and
Yeah.
get it to 15 days. And then I still didn't get the same certificate. So, does that work? See, I have a pre-certified stone and I've lost my certificate, but
Yeah.
I want a physical copy.
Yeah.
How
So
does
you
that
can
work?
actually go onto our website, and there's some, there's this tab that you can is lost and found. You can put in your report number, details, and we'll ship you the report from wherever you
Wow.
require.
This
Yeah.
is an amazing
Yeah.
service because
So
I don't think any labs offer this
yeah, we
service at all.
understand that, you know, you lose so many things. A certificate is a basic thing that you will lose. So customers lose hundreds of certificates, but they can use this service.
Oh, that's an
Right.
amazing service. And I am definitely going to remember this one.
We go a little more beyond. Now what happens is, when I was talking about cutting down time for e-commerce or e-tailers, there are times they don't even have the time, to ship. For example, they send the jewelry to GSI for certification, and then it's going to go back to them, and then they have to ship it to the customer. So certain labs, like a lab in the US, Hong Kong, we offer the order fulfillment or the drop shipping. We actually ship it, package it, and ship it to the customer.
Like an FBA.
Yeah, so exactly. Yeah, so we have entire packaging from the brand, and we grade it. We carefully put it in their brand box and things, and ship it directly. So
You are the
it
next
actu-
Amazon.
yeah, so it actually cuts down the time and things like that. So yeah, we innovate, but this just accidentally happens. When you don't have the luxury of time, can GSI do this for us? Yeah, we do this for you.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
really, really, really good service. Do you
Yeah.
offer the service in India?
Not yet. Yeah, why? Because I think our manufacturers are doing great job at logistics themselves.
Right, absolutely. So now, as a lab, do you guys provide any education services to the retailers, consumers,
Yeah.
to the manufacturers?
Yeah. So we have two modules. One, we have like online programs where you can follow a Diamond Essentials program online, and you can enroll for that. And there's also a laboratory grown Diamond Essential program online. So at about $250, you can, really follow the program, fill in the assignments, and then receive your certificate too. So it's not a practical course, but it's something if you want to know entire journey of diamonds, about grading, things like that. So that's the online program. When we talk about offline program, we have a very detailed long-term program which is offered at our education center in Jaipur. It's called the Colored Stone Professional Programs, and that's 14 weeks. Every day, the course is from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So it's like a intensive course that we. Yeah. So if you really want to be a gemologist, know about gemstones, the inside out. Now the added advantage we have here is we also have a lab in Jaipur. So the students that are following this program, who come from all across India, they're not just learning theory or based on what happened in the past, and these were the treatments that were happening, or synthetics in the past. Here, while we have a lab, daily we get so many stones, which there are new treatments and synthetics coming up. We take the permission of the submitter and we show it to the students. Okay, this is something new that's come up. You should know this. So it's in real time they're learning and being involved with what's happening currently, and it's not just based on theory. Taking them further from the book knowledge, we take the students to factory visits. We take them also to mines, to actual mines. So our last batch went to the Elahera. Yeah, that's what the name of the mine is in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
So we actually took the entire batch to Sri Lanka, where they saw how sapphires are mined, and then how they go into the market, and we took them to the market and they understood the entire trading process. So in the real world, right? So you're not
That
just
sounds interesting.
yeah. So we do that. So this is more about education program for consumers. When it comes to retailers, we're frequently doing workshops for them. May it be the new lab-grown stores coming up, so the sales team needs to know how to sell lab-grown diamonds more effectively. Or it could be the natural diamond retailers who want to enhance the skills of their sales team. So we do offline. We actually go there and do seminars for a day, for two, expose them to stones. There's a lot of information interaction happening. Yeah, so they've benefited. We've had some retailers telling us that, listen, my team speaks such good language now. The competitor wants to pick them up now. So it's a challenge. You educated them too well.
Right, that's a compliment for you, for sure. And then, how about, like, suppose you have your own, since you have your own education platform, I think the natural question comes is, what are the kind of careers that people could potentially, students and, professionals in the industry could look at careers in labs in jewelry?
Yeah.
What kind of careers do you think are available?
So currently, at the moment, the only detailed program that we're offering is the Colored Stone Profession Program, and it's led by industry stalwarts, leaders in this industry who have more than 30 years of experience. They're teaching the program. So, but other than that, we're building up courses because we don't just want to do an ordinary course. So we want to make sure that when we're doing it, has to be different. It has to be one step ahead, like a master class. So having said that, when the students attend these programs, now they're capable, independent. They can go back to their stores and take their business to the next level. We also do a lot of scholarships where there are children or students who want to learn but cannot afford the program fee. So we give them scholarships, and then once they complete the graduation, they get absorbed by manufacturers or retailers. Or even if the student is very capable and wants to join us, we're more than happy to absorb them in one of our labs. Because if we are teaching them, we'll be happy to have them in our team too.
Yeah, that's amazing, actually. Yeah. So, if you could give one piece of advice to buyers who are newly buying diamonds in India, what would it be? First time diamond buyers, what would your advice be as the managing director of a lab?
So I'll make it very casual. I mean, think about it, what is that one thing that you can go into any store and buy which is 1 billion years old? What is that one thing? If you think of, it's only a diamond, all right? So that's the one thing that you can buy which is over 1 billion years old. Having said that, whether they're natural diamonds or lab-grown diamonds, wear them, feel them, touch them, enjoy them. They're going to shine, you're going to shine. It's like your time to shine.
Right. Amazing. Right. That's awesome. Okay, now with that, we are going to break into our rapid fire round. It's called Quick Bling Buzz.
Okay,
and
this makes me nervous.
You have time to think about it, so don't worry. You'll have enough time.
Okay.
Okay. So the last piece of jewelry you bought?
Oh, I bought like a pair of earrings for my younger daughter who's just started, liking jewelry and wearing jewelry. So she's 12 and I'm happy that she likes jewelry.
Okay, that's awesome. Vintage or contemporary jewelry?
Contemporary.
Okay.
I don't know much about vintage, though I love them. But yeah, for myself, it's going to be contemporary.
Okay. A famous person's jewelry style you admire?
I don't know. I'm not famous person, but yeah, I love Harry Winston jewelry. So yeah, that's special.
Okay. The most underrated gemstone?
Tourmalines. They're really underrated. They're so beautiful. So many colors.
I agree. Okay. Must-have jewelry item for any collection?
Oh, we need some more men's jewelry. Right. There's so much of women's jewelry. We need some more men's jewelry.
Which brings me to my next question. One jewelry item you can't live without?
My gold chain and my platinum bracelet that I'm wearing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jewelry for love or investment?
Love, always.
Okay. One word to describe the Indian gemstone industry.
Oh,
Careful.
it's on a high. Everything is good. The next generation loves. You asked for one word. I have like this story on it. The next generation loves colors, so use all your gemstones in jewelry. Go all out.
What's the most challenging part of running a lab?
It's not a challenge. I mean, with experience, it's just to manage people. I
People,
think manage the
right?
team.
The rarest gemstone you've ever certified or studied.
Oh, we have a very, very interesting ruby that we certified, which was about around 45 carats just
Wow.
lately, but a very deep color. And the origin probably wouldn't be Burmese, but even then it was like the color transparency, everything was gorgeous.
If you could name a gemstone after yourself, what would it be called?
After myself, rather name it after you, you know?
I'm a diamond.
Lunaterite. Right?
Okay. What's the first thing you think of when you hear the word diamond?
Love them.
Oh.
Love them.
Okay. Okay. I think you did really well. In the
Really?
rapid fire round. So
I
I'm
did
going to give you.
miserable.
I'm going to give you the hamper.
Oh, really? Wow. Seriously, I get a hamper?
Yes.
Thank you so much. It's fantastic. Love it.
Yes. I'm glad you love it.
Yeah. Love it.
And it was a pleasure having you on the show, Ramit.
Pleasure was all mine.
Yes. Thank you so much for doing this. And if you could give us a few words on
No,
your
we-
experience on Behind the Bling.
It was fab experience. To be honest, you pulled it off like a pro, and we're glad we could have this casual chat and still give so much information to the industry. I wish you the best.
Thank you
and
so
Behind
much.
the Bling also.
Thank you
Keep
so much.
shining.
Thank
all
you.
right, and
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Thanks. Thank you
Thanks.
so much. Thank you, Ramit.